I have a book in me. This is my friend, my brother.
Thank you, Kelly and Oliver.
I'm a multi-award winning best-selling author.
If you want to start a new business, I suggest you write the book on it.
God woke me up at 2:30 in the morning and I wrote a book.
Some of you got books already. Some of you got novels already.
The lead generator is the book.
You write a book, you leave a legacy to your children.
And I hope you guys listen to these guys so they know what they're talking about.
What's up, everybody? It's the publisher, Mr. Kelly Cole.
This is the writing coach, Dr. Oliver T. Reid.
Welcome to another edition of the Books-N-Brothas podcast. It's been a minute since it's just been me and my bro. This week we decided to do it ourselves. So how you doing, bro? What's up?
I'm doing good, bro. Doing good. What's up?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
I need some money, man. Ain't nothing wrong. I need $20 million.
Hey, let's go get it.
No, I don't. I want somebody to give it to me. I don't want to
go. When you find that person, let me know, brother.
I need somebody to just drop it in my hand. They out there. I feel it in my shanana. They out there. I feel it in my
spirit. In your spirit.
You feel led to sow the $20 million seed into my life. Just know it's gonna go to a good cause. Kelly's kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a lot going on, bro, since we did one by ourselves. Like we went to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you got to experience your first client attraction university weekend. Tell us about your experience, bro. Tell us how was that for you?
Man, it was everything. It was life. You know what I mean? It was you had kind of gave me like a precursor, like, man, you get in this environment, you're gonna see, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, going to a business thing, I'm all about business. Been to some business conferences before. I thought I already had it figured out, right? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna go here, I'm gonna learn some jewels. It's gonna be amazing for what I thought was gonna be amazing. But man, it wrecked my whole life. I've never been the same actor. Like I'm like you can see now, my hair growing out. I'm working. I'm out here doing some things where it was everything for me. It's almost like taking a fish to the ocean, but the ocean like just continues to flow. It was like kind of one of those things. Like I was in ponds, and then it was like almost like, yo, I'm in the ocean now with other fish that's like killing the game. So it was kind of like, yo, the environment was just, for me, the environment was just off the chain.
Yeah, man. So what was your biggest takeaway from the event?
Man, I think my biggest takeaway, and to be honest, man, I say this all the time, is nothing new for people who watch this faithfully, is that I'm a creative to the heart. I can create, not even trying. I can come up and create something, man. And I found out my biggest takeaway is that, man, you don't have to overthink it. Simple is more. And I'm still processing that. And that's helped me. I think it's been almost a month since we went. And I'm still digesting that, but I've scaled back to like a whole lot since then. And how to channel that creativity. So it's not like you give it away, but just like you don't have to overthink it, bro. And you know me, I'm like up there with Einstein with my thoughts on the day. I'm like trying to figure like square root of 10 is, whatever minus pi equals whatever. And you just don't have to do that. And really, I really have the solution inside, man. That was one of the takeaways. I think that was the couple with the other one is the mindset shift for me, bro. It was like that mindset shift.
Yeah.
Really helped me.
Dope, man. Yeah. So, like you said, man, I had been telling you about it, about how, it's one thing for me to share this and that with you, but it's another thing for you to be in the room with like-minded people and people who get it and people who are going after it, people who on all different levels, six-figure cats, $1 million cats, so on and so forth, and sharing your wins in that type of environment. It's not bragging and there's no jealousy, there's no nothing. It's like being in the room for the people who want you to win.
Yeah.
And there's no greater feeling than that, to celebrate your brothers and sisters in their wins and, have them cheer you on and have them, want you to do just as good as them. Hate. I didn't feel no hate in the room, and I've never felt any hate being a part of the group. None of that. Shout out to Coach Marquell and Dre.
Yo.
They're all, they're geniuses, and they have set an atmosphere of love and support, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. I definitely, it was almost like imagine, because you do a lot with athletes, man. You do a lot with them. It was almost like being in our own Super Bowl where the
Yep.
game was already fixed. The best
Yep.
way to say it was like, it's like being in the Super Bowl, you about to get a trophy. You know you in the VIP. You know you got stats. And basically it's almost like you can't lose. Like for me, what got it, when you see the young, I call him big baby, young guy, stockbroker guy, just making 6 figures, 7 figures. Like,
Yeah.
if he could do it, it makes you like everybody in there could do it. And people were dancing, man. People were just kind of happy. I just saw all smiles,
Yeah.
bro.
Shout out to the Truth Jones, who we talking about, young phenom, man. Did over 7 figures. He's got the
Seven
seven
figures.
figure award for his course and teaching people about stock. So look him up. If you don't know who he is, look up the Truth Jones. And he's a young man, teenager, killing the
Killer.
game. Killing the game. And man, like he said, like Doc said, it was inspiring to see, man. It was just inspiring to see so many people winning, so many people killing, so many people just crushing the game in their different industries, man. Real quick, so shifting from that just a little bit. Oh, and a little bit about that too. That whole entire weekend, I think it has progressively got worse. I told y'all last week, the reason why I'm sitting here is because I got that pinched nerve in my back. But at the event, it was Mike, man, it was not good. I was not 100%, and it has gotten worse since then because I kept aggravating it before I figured out what it was. And two things aggravating it. If I sit in my office chair or if I'm driving. So I figured out I can't sit in my chair, of course, until I'm completely healed. And then I'm driving. I finally figured out the position in my seat when I'm driving so I don't re aggravate it. But the most comfortable place for me to be is right here. So at the event, y'all should have saw me, man. I was barely clapping. I was like this. I couldn't really clap. I couldn't, raise my
I
hand.
was clowning him
I
too.
couldn't do nothing, man. I was hurting. But just thank God to still be here, man. And a lot of y'all don't know this because I don't complain. You don't hear me complaining. Like my bro don't ever. I'll tell my bro. I'd be like, yeah, bro, I'm not feeling well. Pray for me. This is, I'm hurting or whatever. But most people don't even know this. Like I've been dealing with some type of issue with my body or with my health since Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
and I have persevered through. I have been working, still been doing the podcast, still been doing my daily work and making stuff happen. I should have wore my "Dreams Don't Care How You Feel" shirt
Yeah.
today because they don't, man. Your dreams don't care how you feel, and a lot of the times too. I'm gonna share with y'all something that hit me day before yesterday. I was sitting here complaining about some things that wasn't going right as far as with my rental property, right? Listen to this, bro. I'm sitting here complaining, and basically the Lord convicted me and said, "Here you are complaining about some things not going right with your rental property, and there are people who don't even have a place to live."
Mm.
Like there are people that don't even have a place to lay their head, and you're complaining about something that's going on with your rental property. Like, come on, bro. Like that's not a real problem. You know what I'm saying?
No.
He's basically telling me like your problem is just being patient and going through the process of overcoming whatever the obstacle is. But you don't really have an issue. You have a place to stay, you have food, you have clothes, you have everything you need. All your needs are met, and there are people with children who don't even have a place to stay, bro.
It's crazy.
And when
And
I
and
tell you that convicted me, I had to go outside. I went outside and literally stood on my land and begin to give God praise and thank Him for what He's given me and repented for complaining.
yeah, man, it's those awakening moments because like you said, man, you got rental property. It's one of those things that I found out. like in the grind. What people don't know on my end is that I'm working a 9 to 5 still. We
Mhm.
talk about this all the time. I'm working a 9 to 5, a serious 9 to 5. I won't even call it a 9 to 5. It's like a 24 hour. It could be 24 hours on call,
Yeah.
and it's a giving field. So it's not just like I'm sitting back on the computer. I'm actually dealing with people. I'm putting out fires all day long, and a
Yeah.
lot of times, like yourself, bro. One of the things I'll say, well, bro, I'll never really hear you complain from the time I've known you, whatever you're going through, until like recently you talked about a little bit about the pain, but you still be going through it. And it's an inspiration. And a lot of times people don't, we talk about it a lot of times, they don't see what we go through on a day-to-day basis, working
Yeah.
and still having to run a business full time, working on that business, in a business, and
Yeah.
then putting out fires 9 to 5, man, it's grace. And I found myself doing the same thing, like, man, this is, Lord, this is crazy, ludicrous, this is whatever.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, it go back to the thing about it. The Lord was speaking to me. He said, "Man, every cat, every guy, every person in the earth, they don't have your capacity. I didn't give you the capacity."
Yeah.
And I was listening to this song by one of my favorite artists coming up. His name is Chandler Moore, worship leader. He has a song called Gyra that they did with Elevation.
Uh-huh.
And what was powerful about what he said, Naomi Rain, which is another worship leader, like she came with her part, and basically said, if he clothes the lilies of the field
Yeah.
with beauty and splendor,
Yeah.
what more? And I just started being like,
Yeah.
yo, you need to shut up. I repented because it
Yeah.
was one of those aha moments. I started worshiping, man. Tears started coming because I'm like, it's the lilies. And I looked out at my house, bro, what the Lord has blessed me with. We were able to do some renovations, and I started seeing all of the
Yeah.
flowers blooming, and they
Yeah.
don't work nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, it humbles you, man. He's never left us. He's never forsaken us. He has taken
Yeah.
care of us, and we get in these moments where we're impatient and we feel like, what I'm saying, it's crazy how the mind works at times. We're getting these modes where we're complaining about stuff that's not even a real issue.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it, he like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't went nowhere. I got you. Like, trust me. You know what I'm saying? When you think about, like you said, the lilies of the field, man, when you think about that, and just think about, how he's clothed you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, walking around your house. Like, bruh, y'all did some upgrades on y'all crib, and it's looking lovely. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
got you got a house. You got some place to lay your head at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And there's people who don't have that, bro.
Yeah, it's so funny, man. I just started looking like, wow. It just, did put you in a frame of mind. The mindset, getting back to what we talked earlier, is so important. Like that's where the battle is. That's where it's won. And I feel like it's where it's lost. If you're losing a battle or anything, you had to go back to the way you look at it. It's the way your mind is processing it. And it's a blessing, man, just to be where we are, and it's humbling.
He's good, man. And I'm thankful. It's put me in a thankful spirit. And here's where I struggle sometimes. And in being in a place of exercising patience,
Hmm.
the balance of exercising patience and not
Right.
doing enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because for so long, all I knew is grind, 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 put your foot on the pedal and go.
Yeah.
It ain't no waiting. It ain't no stopping. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Right.
Let's go get it.
Let's do it.
And the hardest thing for me now, sometimes, is to be still and wait on him,
Yeah.
because it's finding that balance of and listening and staying plugged in. Like, yo, is he telling me to wait, or do I need to be going? Do I need to be doing something because I'm
Right.
so used to doing? So
Right.
that's something that I struggle with, waiting and being patient versus foot on the gas, foot, what I'm saying, pedal to the metal, go get
Yeah.
it. 'Cause bro, no, we can get in those modes where we ain't stopping. Like, it don't matter. Like, what
Right.
happened, what I'm saying, we if an obstacle come, we running over it.
Yeah.
And
No
so
doubt.
right now, I'm trying to learn that balance of being still and waiting on God and being patient, and it's tough.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the timing, bro. It's one of those things that I learned from the last season where I was just like gone whole a couple years ago. Like I'm just done, but I didn't have a plan. I thought I had a plan,
Right.
but I hadn't been processed to have a plan. That makes sense. The plan I had was one without process. I thought, I was kind of like, man, it needs to be done by now. It's almost like when you're hungry and food in there, and the cook's like, yo, we gotta wait. I can't rush,
That's
you
good.
know, to do whatever. And I'll just chime in on this point, which was so good. That was a point that I learned the other weekend hanging out with you. Was like, man, we went up, we hung out with you, and you were like, hey, in the midst of what you're doing, you still were serving your family, you still were serving us, and you said, hey, I'm gonna cook a meal, and I was like, man, I'm ready to hit the road. It's a 5 hour drive. I'm like, I want this food. I want to see my brother working with. Because he's like, I got this sauce. I got this stuff I'm going to do. I was like, okay. So I was contemplating, man, I'm like, I might not go, then I'm going to go. I'm like, I feel led to go. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
let me go ahead and do this because of life. And what really made me say was that life, you can have all these plans,
Yeah.
but sometimes what's more important, kicking in with your family, my bro, who's my family, hanging out, having a good time, or just so busy trying to get to the next thing. But
Right.
one of the things you said the night before, you're like, it's gonna take a while. But and now you're in severe pain. You're like, it's gonna take a while. I'm gonna do it, but it's not gonna be ready by this time.
Right.
And it's almost like how God look at us for certain things. Like we be like, yo, we ready to eat. I'm hungry, whatever
Right.
it
Right.
is. Be like, I'm gonna do it. But when I tell you it was worth it, we sat down and we threw down. We threw
Yeah.
down. That sauce on the wings, everything was good. But I think what really made it good was the love, the sacrifice that you said, hey, I'm gonna serve my family and I'm gonna do it. Sometimes, man, that creates a memory. But sometimes, what if we could have went and left that meal, but we wouldn't have had that memory.
Yeah. That's good.
So, our plans a lot of times, well, you gotta be telling me you need to be processed. Your
Yeah.
plans, okay, you got it in your head, but you ain't got it in your heart. And when you get it in your heart, things open up. So, that meal was good. Bro got skills. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro got skills. We ate good, man. Got to chill with his family, man, and just be around everybody. And sometimes we forfeit those memories. Guess what? Got home. We got home late, but it was almost like refreshed.
Yeah.
It was kind of like it was worth it because sometimes we'll miss those memories because we're so busy getting to the next thing.
Yeah, bro. You said a lot in that, man. One of the things I don't want them to miss is, we want what we want from God, but He's like, yo, it's gonna take some time. You're gonna have to wait, but it's gonna be worth the wait. And I have a
Mm-hmm.
whole, you don't know that I got a whole sermon on that, and I'm not finna touch on that right now. They're gonna have to just wait to get that
I
whenever.
had to wait for the sermon to come out, bro.
But, but it was true, man. It was real. I was like, yo, and what you talking about? Like, I grilled for the whole fam last week, and like I told him, I was like, yo, it's gonna take me some time, but yo, I can grill. You know what I'm saying? I still ain't had bro grill. They say he's the master.
Got some
Um,
skills, brother.
I got to get up there with my big bro, but at the end of the day, it was something that I wanted to do. My mom was in town, my sisters was in town, my stepdad was in town, and my bro and my sisters in town. So I was like, "Yo, we're barbecuing, like we're cooking. Mom's doing the sides, and I'm gonna be grilling. And I grill some wings, I grill some steak, I grill some pork chops, I grill some hot links. What else I had? I had some other stuff, chicken
Yeah,
breasts. I was throwing down, but I didn't eat none of it. Like most of y'all don't know this, but um, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I gave up meat again. So I don't eat meat again. So I don't eat meat. So I grilled all of that for them, and I grilled me some veggie burgers. So I ate some veggie burgers and some veggie boneless wings. But I grilled for the family, and I got this special sauce that everybody loves. And yeah, man, we had a great time. The fellowship was
Oh, you
great.
had steak. Did you mention the steak?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
grilled steak, New York strip steak. I had all that out there, bro. I hooked it up.
you did your thing, brother. You did your thing.
So I can't wait for the next time. I was just talking to who was I talking to? I think I was talking to Aaron. I was like, man, I can't wait till the next time. Oh, the next time I do it, I know I'm gonna do it. is after the wedding, the weekend of the
Mhm.
wedding. So we're
Yeah.
gonna this time we're gonna rent like a shelter, like at the park,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna grill out there. We're gonna have a cookout for the fam since everybody will be in town. Like
That'd
my
be
whole
nice, bro.
fam will be in town, and we're gonna have a cookout. We're gonna have a big celebration and cookout, bro. It's gonna be real nice. I'm excited about it. I
Yeah.
love to do it. In pain, no pain. I love to do it, man. It's gonna be a good day.
Yeah, man. I can't wait, man. I may stand beside you, may throw something on. Who knows? You know what I mean? But that's the thing, man. And that was the point because it kept echoing the entire weekend. Was you can get and think about it. You did it out of love. Our Creator does everything for us out of love, but it's in His timing.
Yeah,
He's like, listen, you ain't bought it. I own the land. You ain't got to season it. I already seasoned it. You
yeah,
ain't got to do all this. All you got to do is wait
yeah,
and show up.
yeah,
And I think that one thing the Lord gave me a long time ago in the process of business or in the process of grinding. When that scripture said, "Wait on the Lord," it
yeah,
doesn't mean just be sitting there pacing. Because sometimes we pacing like, it's good. What waiting means is serving. You become that waiter,
yeah.
and you begin to find things to do that promotes Him. And then before you know it, it ain't as long as you thought it was. The food's ready. Don't worry about it. And it's not as long as you thought. So a lot of times, man, it's one of those things where it's not as long as we think.
Right.
Yeah.
Most definitely, bro. Um, you touched on something else too. You said that we get to these points where we feel like it should be done, or we should be this, or we should be that.
Yeah.
You said a word to me that helped me in a season where somebody else. This is going way back. This is around the time when we
Yeah.
first start hooking up, and I don't know if you remember this moment, but you remember your show on Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah.
And I remember you talked about, and you said this word, you said, you are not late.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna get you to break that down. But what touched me about that in that particular season, there was this. I'm gonna just say it for what it was. There was this demonic person that I was attached to, um, in a business relationship, who would just speak negative things over me, and make me feel like, just make me feel bad. My energy was always drained when I left from around this person and the whole nine. And he said to me one day, he was like, "What?" He was like, "You should be further than where you are right now." And I was like, "What do you mean by that? Like, I'm making a full time income online. Like, what do you mean I should be further than where I am? I'm learning. I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? I had only quit my job only a year, and I had already started replacing the income that I was making on my job. But here's some negative person telling me and putting this pressure on me and saying I should be further along than where I was." And then I logged onto your podcast one night, and you were like, your show on Blog Talk Radio, and you said, "You are not late." I just want you to know God says you're not late. So touch on that real quick, bro.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I have to remind myself, and you know me better than a lot of people. Like a lot of times, I have to say this over myself because I always feel, in creativity, I should be doing more.
Yeah,
And this is somebody who's like, no matter what it is, you get 1 million, you saying you need to have 2 million. You get 2 million, you're like, I need 6 million.
yeah,
So it's one of those things that the Lord spoke to me one time, man, and He gave me this poem. I wrote it in one of my books. I think it's in that "Don't Press Fast Forward" book. And literally, bro, I had to run to the restroom one night, and I remember this. I was unemployed. I was writing this book. This is when I had moved to Virginia. I left North Carolina.
yeah,
I got here. I couldn't find a job. I had come from entrepreneurship and needed a shift. And then when I shift, it kind of just shut down. All of my contracts before I left North Carolina just kind of just ceased. And I was making great money. I
yeah,
was like, yo, Lord, what you doing? Got here, was in the situation. And I was sitting in went to the restroom and I brought my pen with me. And I was sitting there, man, and the Lord, I started hearing the conversation. like God talking to himself, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, the Trinity. They were like talking. And
Yeah.
I was sitting there, and he was like, son, if they only knew they wasn't late. He said, I signed my own birth certificate.
Wow.
Smiled at myself in the future.
Wow.
It was like I was just like, wow. And I was just writing this thing down. He's like, if they knew that time asks me for more time, and every time thinks that I'm running out of time, I begin again. And I was looking at that. I was like, that's so deep. God was like, time has been waiting on me to run out of time, but I hold time in my hand.
Wow.
So he's basically saying, you are not late.
Yeah.
And when he said that, like, if they only knew that they don't have to synchronize their time with the watches on their wrists.
Yeah.
It was so deep. Like sometimes we're looking at, oh man, I'm 40, I'm 45, I'm 30, I'm
Yeah.
20. I hear women do that a lot. I ain't got no children, I ain't married yet. I'm 30. You know, and you're trying to rush the process. God is not bound by time. When I realized you were not late, so even if you were on the wrong bus going to the wrong place, you'll still show up on time to what God has for your life.
That's it, bro. And you shared that night, man. And I'll tell you, that freed me forever. And I never forgot that. Like, I'm not late. And you have to remind yourself that ultimately, God is in control. I can't speak for nobody else. I've done a lot of things wrong. I've done some things right. But God has never forsaken me, man. He has never
Mm-hmm.
left me. He has given me. It's so funny. Uh, he has taken care of me this whole time. So funny. I was talking to my baby girl, a love today on her way home from school, which I forgot to pick her up.
Oh no.
Thank God, the school's only a block away, so all
Right.
I had to do was walk a block. And I saw her. I was like, "Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I had a call at 3 o'clock, and then after the call, it just slipped my mind because I started working. You know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
So on the way, we were driving, and I was talking to her, and I was like, you're called to greater, right? I said
Mm-hmm.
you can't. I said you can't run from
Wow.
your gift. Like your gift is going to naturally make room for you. Baby girl plays the guitar and sings, and everybody who hears her says that she's going to be bigger than Aaron even.
Mm-hmm.
She's running from that because she's saying she doesn't want that. She's saying that she wants to do it locally and wants to be a worship leader locally. And I was like, sweetheart, that's the reason why he wants to use you, because you don't want the limelight. You don't want to do it for you. You don't want to be a star. You don't want to be in the front. You worship purely from your heart, and that's why he's going to use you.
Mm.
And she was like, Dad, and I was like, sweet, I'm just telling you. I'm telling you from experience. And I said, there's places that I said, it don't matter where I go or how far I try to stand in the back or be in the back, I always get called to the front. It
Right.
never fails. I always get called to the front. That's part of my gift. That's part of my calling. It's part of my anointing. I don't have to do anything.
Exactly.
All I have to do is be in the room, and I get called to the front. And I was just explaining that to her. So I hope y'all getting this, man. This is good. This is good stuff. Like, you're not late. Your gift going to
Yes, sir.
for you. You're going to get called to the front because of your gift and your anointing. And if your heart is pure, like them the ones God want. The ones that are not looking,
Yeah.
don't have agendas, that don't, want to take advantage of people, that genuinely love people and want to serve. It's like, um, shameless plug. We got the Book It Master class coming. We genuinely want to help people. We get more full off of
Mm.
seeing the immediate gratification
Yeah.
that we helped the people that showed up.
That's it. That's
We
nothing
we
greater than that.
we never just like, oh my God, we did this, so it's about us or about this. Like, bro, did you see the impact we're
Yeah.
making? And that's the part that we love. Go ahead, bro. You know I could talk all day. Go ahead.
No, man. Listen, it's true, man. At the end of the day, we would do it. We do it for free. We do it for the same point of the love of what the Lord got us. But we came this far because the Lord got us,
Yeah,
right? And I think that that's the biggest thing that helped me. You said something one time that really blessed me. You say it often on the show. You'll be like, "Hey, don't worry about what everybody else doing. Even if they try to duplicate it, they don't have your anointing."
They don't.
I think a lot of time we feel like we are late because we see people doing similar, or we think that somebody is doing what we're supposed to be doing, but they can never do what
We do.
we're supposed to be doing because they're not us.
They're not us.
And so, even if you were baking the same cake, it's not the same. When your hand touch it, it's different. And so, I think that that's the thing, man. That I hope people are getting. That I'm learning. I'm still getting. I still get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just like, man, I want, especially when you put so much in it and you've been grinding as long as we have. You're like, yo, it is time. Like those, then the bread needs to be done. The bread needs to be done
Yeah.
so I can get. But at the end of the day, you know, nobody can rush your process. I
Yeah.
remember somebody said something to me one time. They're like, "Man, I don't understand your life and all you got to go through, but I know that God is just. And so when you're going to experience unusual breakthrough,
Yeah.
so those people who, if you go through just basic stuff, then you get that basic reward. But when you go through stuff that you like, yo,
Yeah.
when you come out of that, so it's just one of those things, man. That I think tonight we pouring on other people. This man is you're not late. Nobody has your anointing,
Yeah.
and you're gonna always be called to the front when the front is in you.
Yep.
And I'll say this last time. We always talk about the disciples. I'll say this one was the last thing. We always talk about the disciples and how great they became.
Yeah.
But Christ called them because it was in them to follow.
Right.
Even Judas,
Yeah.
he just came up to him. He had a long interview. He
Right.
didn't vet them through a process, ask what their family were. He just said, "Come follow me." And anytime, why did they follow? Because it was in them to follow.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, man, your support system, who God has called, your team, because I hear people all the time. I know you hear this all the time. I'm talking to people like, "I wish I had a team, man." And I've said to myself, like, "Wish I had a team. I need a team." At the end of the day, your team gonna come, and when they come, you're gonna be able to call them, and they're gonna follow.
For sure. Definitely, bro. That yeah, I say that a lot, man. It doesn't matter how many people do what it is that you are doing or what you're called to do and what quote unquote your gift is. It doesn't matter because they don't have your anointing.
Yeah.
They don't have your anointing. They can't do it like you do it. They don't have your gift, your swag, your terminology. Like I have a gift to simplify things. Now I have a creative mind and marketing mind and all of
Mm-hmm.
that, but I still have a mind of systemizing, organizing, and simplifying.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just works like that. I don't know how it works, but when I'm on and I'm one
Yeah.
hundred percent, can't nobody stand next to me on the mic. Can't nobody and do what I do. I'm not a TD Jakes. I'm not even my brother. I am who I am,
Yeah.
and when I'm flowing in my gift, there's nobody better. There's nobody can beat me being me.
Hands down.
There's nobody that can beat me being me.
Man, me.
Come on.
That's Jews. Drop
Hey,
the. I'm
bar.
about to turn on the organ.
There's nobody that can beat me being me. Period. I don't care what
Yeah.
you do. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how many followers you got. There's
Yep.
nobody that can beat me being me. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, bro, like I'm gonna give y'all an example. I'm gonna testify. So every year, well, this started. I want to say this started like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you remember it. It started like 3 years ago. I was like, every year I'm going to an Eric Thomas, a ET the Hip Hop Preacher event, and I'm getting a VIP
Said it.
ticket. And I think the first one was like 500 or something like that.
Yeah.
And let me say this: there's no event that I've invested money into, whether it's 500, whether it's 1,000, whether it's 10,000. There's no event that I've ever invested in and that I didn't make double my investment back by just going to the event.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't let that go over your head. I've always sat next to somebody, talked to somebody that needed my service. And I got my investment back from the event just by
Yeah.
going to the event. So I wanted to give that little nugget. But anyway, so every year for the last 4 years, on my goals that I read every day, it has go to a live Eric Thomas ET the Hip Hop Preacher event. Okay, every year it's on my goals. Go to at least one live event, right? So last year, COVID hit, so he didn't have any more events, right? So I'm like, man, I ain't gonna get to cross that off because all of the other years I was able to cross that off and
Mm.
go. How about last year? I did not only attend an event because they did it virtually. I spoke at the event.
Look at you.
Oh, just slow down. Stick with me. Stick with me. And I was like, wow, God, I went from having to go to going to one to speaking on the platform with ET the same day as ET at one of his events. Right? Boom. Fast forward. Um I actually, when was it? Monday. Called me back, spoke to the group again for the second time. So it was on my list again this year to go to an ET event. This year again, I speak. I speak
Wow.
at his conference, his speaker group. You know what I'm saying?
Look
His
at that.
game changer speaker group. So, and me and E go back. A Facebook memory came up. I think it's from like '09, 2010 or '09, somewhere around there, when
Mm.
E was doing, most people don't realize E was on Ustream. You remember Ustream?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was doing a Ustream at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it would be about five of us on there with him. And he'd be listening to worship music at 4 a.m. And then he'll talk to us for a minute, give a motivational thing, and he'd be like, "All right, guys, peace. I'm gone. Y'all enjoy y'all day." We go
That's
way like that far back of
true
me
fact.
following him, and then to be speaking for like his programs, like, bruh, that blows my mind. It
Mm.
blows my mind at the place God took me from. Working at Blockbuster, working at Walmart, wondering
Hmm.
if I was gonna ever get out of there, and having people tell me I was crazy for quitting my job, having people tell me that discourage me and tell me I'd be
Yeah.
like all the rest of them and come back. Like, listen to me, to owning land and owning two houses, and
Yeah.
bruh, you can't tell from almost being homeless to that.
To
Now let
that.
me break that down. This is the last thing I'm gonna say, and we're gonna get them out of here. We're gonna tell them about the Book It Masterclass, right? If you don't know my story, when I quit both of my jobs, I used to work at Walmart during the day, Blockbuster at night, right? When I quit both of my jobs, I couldn't pay rent for 7 months. Okay. Fast forward to last year, I not only bought the house that I couldn't pay rent for when I quit my job, I bought the landlord's house, I bought the lot next to him, and the lot on the other side.
Look at that.
Now you can't tell me
Come
what
on
God
into
can't do
this
and
church.
where he can't take you from. And here I am complaining. I ain't got nothing to complain about. Like, shut up. Anyway,
I'm telling you.
I'm done. I'm done testifying.
Drop the mic. Like Bishop T.D. Jakes' new book. Drop.
What you got, bro?
I
Fuck.
ain't got nothing. Listen, you done said. We done said it. We gonna take the offering. You know what I'm saying? We just listen.
He's
There's nothing else to say.
he's so good, bro. He is so good. So, all right, let's talk about what we got coming up. We got the Book It Masterclass coming up in a couple of weeks. It is May the 8th. Now listen, if you haven't registered, like, you're losing out. Like, you're messing up. Go ahead and register. Go to bookitmasterclass.com. These every one of them are different. So I would recommend some people take it twice because
Yep.
every one is different, because it's almost like, God gives us stuff. He drops something to give to the people that is not even in our presentations.
Mhm.
Right now, it's only $47 to register. When we get into that last week for registration, the price is going to double. So you need to go ahead and register now before the price doubles. Okay? Go to bookitmasterclass.com. As soon as you get on the page, there's a button that says register. Click that button and go ahead and register. Don't miss out. Don't wait till the last minute. Last time we had people registering at the last minute and saying like, yo, they're glad that they did, and it blew their mind, and we over delivered, and which we always do.
Yeah.
So it's
No
more
doubt.
than what you see listed on what you're gonna get. I over delivered, man. I did a bonus presentation that was fire that I'm getting ready to
Fine.
package up. I'm gonna give y'all an exclusive. I'm getting ready to release that this weekend. So my goal is to get the page up between tonight and tomorrow, and this weekend I'm launching it exclusively to my email list this weekend. So, and it's just only gonna be available Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. After that, you ain't gonna be able to get it. So, just letting y'all know, Book Marketing Pro 2.0 is coming.
Fire. Definitely fire.
So yeah, what you got, bro? Talk to him for a minute.
Man, listen, we ready, man. May 8th is on charge. We listen. There's testimonies like my bro said. You can see testimonies on the website. You know, you can actually see it if you're following the podcast, following our pages. Real life people who are sharing what is happening, what has happened
Yeah.
since then. You know, and actually from the standpoint, we're coming up soon on 10 years of being able to do this. So we're excited.
Mhm.
And every time we do it, it is never the same. I'll just say it again, like Bo said it, but like it's been times where it's just like people have been in tears to the point people have been laughing uncontrollably. So people are just like, yo, it's you just never know what the Lord's going to do, you know, when we get together. But I do know if you're struggling writing a book, you had that thing in your head, you need to know how to market it. I've never been to a class like that where in 3 hours we go through that process each time where like you can boom, it's like the light switch kicks on. So go register, man. I can't wait to do it, man. I can't wait to do it. I'm like, is it May 8th already? Let's go.
May 8th, bro. We excited. We, like I said, we cover all three steps of the process. We cover writing the book, publishing it, and marketing. 3-step formula. So we show you how to get the book done fast. We talk to you about publishing, and we share with you marketing tips that are out of this world. So if you have a book, if you know desire to write a book, we definitely recommend you coming and taking the Book It Master class. Like I said, go ahead and register within this next week because the last week of registration, the price is going to double. So go to bookitmasterclass.com. All right. With that being said, make sure you're also subscribing to this podcast, sharing it. You don't know who the things that we share, who is going to bless. You don't know who it's for. So share the podcast. Share the link. Share the YouTube link. Share the Apple Podcast link. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you're subscribing to us everywhere. Follow us on IG as well. Books-N-Brothas. All right. Um, any final words before we give them our quote?
Yes, sir.
All right, real quick, I always forget this still. If you want to book us to speak at your event virtually or in person, we are taking engagements. Shoot us an email, booksandbrothers@gmail.com. It'll be below in the show notes. If you want coaching, writing coaching, Doc is available. His link is below. And if you're ready to get your book published, or you need some marketing tips, my link is below as well. So with that being said, we're going to get out of here. We're going to leave with our famous quote. You don't have to get it right.
Just got to get it going.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Love you, bro.
Love you too, bro.
All right, peace.
If you woke up this morning, it's a blessing. What a wonderful time it is to be alive.
I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole. I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole.
Happy, healthy, wealthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, wealthy, and whole.
I am happy, healthy, wealthy, whole. I am happy, wealthy, whole.